This video is brought to you by Skillshare. Check out the link in the description to see how you can learn new skills and trades from the comfort of your own home. Also, just one other quick announcement. I know some of you are wondering what's been up with my upload schedule as of late, and just a quick reminder, I'll be uploading here every first and third week of the month, and every second and fourth week over on my new channel, Gaijin Perspective. So still weekly uploads, just with some different topics. But I hope you can enjoy them, because I'm loving the process. Hey everyone, Gaijin Goombah here, and welcome back to another episode of Witch Ninja, a series that looks at media's most popular Shinobi scene, which are good and which are bad. Man, it's been a while since we've had a good hard look at a popular ninja in anime. In fact, out of the 41 episodes of Witch Ninja we've done here, we've only really covered 3. Speed of Sound Sonic, Jiraiya, and Aizawa Eraserhead Shota. Weird, right? Because there's a lot more out there that we could easily look into. But today there's one that's been not only on my mind, but the minds of my long-supporting patrons. A legend when it comes to Shinobi in anime and manga, Sergeant Major Murasaki from the media titan Dragon Ball.
By legend, what? Like how this mediocre at best ninja hails from one of the most famous anime of all time? Or legend in that this ninja has been on the Patreon poll for months and he's finally getting his comeuppance?
Well, you're swinging out the gate pretty hard. I mean, yeah, Murasaki isn't the greatest ninja to have ever come out of the anime scene. I don't deny that for sure. But after going back and rewatching the old Muscle Tower arc where Goku's scaling the Red Ribbon Army Tower stronghold to save the chief of Jingle Village, fighting enemy after enemy on each floor, you'd be surprised at how authentic Murasaki actually gets when it comes to his shinobi techniques that he exercises against Goku.
Ah yes, the Shiribo no Jutsu. Who could forget the mystical technique of a ninja running around in broad daylight with a shaft up the rectum, screaming at the top of their lungs? Look, I get that early Dragon Ball was more of a kid's show, and I can respect that. But not even the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles went into this level of absurdity.
Alright, I can already tell that we're gonna be going down the middle on this one, so let's do this methodically. Starting back at episode 37, Ninja Murasaki Sanjo, or Inner Ninja Murasaki. What?
Aren't you forgetting something?
Am I?
Our sponsor, Skillshare, one of the biggest hubs of net-based learning. As creators and advocates of discovery through the internet over the last, 9 years now? We've always been interested in the developments of online learning communities, especially now that the majority of us are kinda stuck at home. And one that we've been keeping our eye on has been Skillshare.
Well, to be specific, Skillshare is an online community where millions of people come together to learn and develop personalized classes with a near unlimited range of topics. Personally, my wife and I have been enjoying a ton of videos on traditional Japanese cooking, considering how freaking dynamite she is at it. But there's all different kinds of topics to look into, from illustration, to marketing, to entrepreneurship, to web development. But no matter which topic you're interested in, each class is created by an individual passionate about the subject. No wasted time with homework, curriculums, or other bog standard methodologies. It's literally just hop into a series of videos and get crackin' learning. So if you want to develop a skill, introduce yourself to a new trade, or just quell a curiosity, check out the link in the description, because the first 1,000 viewers to do so can get a taste of Skillshare's premium service absolutely free. With the advent of the internet, there's nothing that you can't learn, so come see what Skillshare has to offer you.
Sounds like something Murasaki could use, because when it comes to just the introduction of this would-be shinobi, I'm already about to press X. I mean, come on man, the dude just apparated. Either that or he's moving so fast he's leaving an after image. We're hitting Naruto levels of BS-ery almost 20 years before Naruto was a thing. I mean, just look at how his boss, General White, introduces Murasaki. Known as the, quote, messenger of death, we're told that no one person who has seen his shadow, much less his face, has ever lived to tell about it. Complete with after-image levels of speed and rapid-fire instant death shuriken.
Okay, bad example. How about Murasaki's floor layout? I mean, Goku's even confused with this whole outside on the inside thing. Instead of it being an obvious layer of danger, it's got more of a countryside vibe to it, which is definitely more authentically ninja. Typically, different clans and groups of shinobi would make their homes in the dense mountains and valleys of Japan's countryside. Not only keeping their communities isolated and hidden from the outside, but the wilds of Japan also made for great terrain for training. That's just the tip of the iceberg though, considering the wilds also provided both farmland for self-sustenance as well as giving ninja access to a plethora of vegetation used in their medicines and poisons, thus giving Murasaki's layout a much more real ninja feel that—
Gaijin, he's throwing kunai!
Alright, moving on. After a handful of attacks from the darkness, Murasaki opens the shutters and begins a menacing monologue over the PA system, attempting to confuse Goku and throw off his attention with a quick toss of shuriken to go with it. Then, once Goku's attention is down, he goes for the sneak attack from behind, and misses. Oh, shush. Point being, this strategy is actually incredibly ninja. It's not just openly trying to attack, There were steps to this. We've covered on this show so many times before that shuriken were not meant as a killing weapon, but rather a distraction weapon. Either balled in the fist and used as a quick stabbing or slashing tool to lightly injure a target and then fleeing as it reels from the shock of the attack, or as a medium-distance thrown weapon with the same distracting effect. The only way you're killing anyone with these things is a fast-acting poison and/or unarmored shots to the face, neck, or spine. Murasaki opens up with some verbal mind games and then distraction shurikens to throw Goku off, and by doing so nearly chops him down the middle.
You know, it's funny you mention the realities of the shuriken, because Jinichi Kawakami, cited as the last known ninja in Japan, had some interesting statements about them. Also, big shout out to Asian Boss for this interview. Be sure to go check the whole thing out.
忍術であればあまり使い勝手良くない。どうやってまず持ってるんですかね。
痛いって感じですね。
落としたら困るしね。だから不確実性が高い。その辺に石ころを持って投げた方がいいと。
なるほど。
And what do we see Goku doing as soon as he dodges Murasaki's attack? Grabbing a rock, which he absolutely pegs Murasaki with. So who's the better shinobi here, this guy or Goku? In fact, like Kawakami-san mentioned, where the heck is Murasaki keeping all those kunai and shuriken? He's tossed out probably a dozen or so already, so how are they not weighing him down or poking him in the ribs? Anywho, after clocking Murasaki, Goku finds a very compensated picture to say the least, and we swiftly find through a near tantrum exchange that it belongs to Murasaki himself. Why he's carrying something like that around, I don't know, nor do I understand why he broke stealth to retrieve it, but that's not the grave ninja sin here. It's stated in the Bansenshukai, a collection of Iga and Koka knowledge compiled in 1676, under Seishin 1, Volume 2. You should always strictly abstain from alcohol, lust, and greed. Never indulge in any of them. These three vices are your enemies, which deprive you of yourself and your better nature. Since ancient times, there have been countless people who have indulged in alcohol, ichikoto, or greed and ended up giving away a strategy or it having a serious influence on the outcome of things. I think it goes without saying that right from the start, it was apparent that Murasaki is without seishi, sincerity, let alone abstinence.
Alright, to be fair, once Murasaki got what he needed, he lobbed a Torinoko bomb at Goku in order to re-establish stealth. A pretty heavily used trope to be certain, but not outside historical ninjutsu. While most examples of Torinoko smoke bombs are lit fuse base, impact smoke bombs like the one that Murasaki uses wasn't that hard to make. All it took was the correct balance of gunpowder for the explosion, magnesium for the impact trigger, and sugar or other powders for various smoke effects, all wrapped up in a tight package. You know those 4th of July snappers? Same principle, just on a much larger scale. Once Murasaki was able to get out of sight, he capitalizes on another jutsu that we've actually never covered before here on the show, the Kakuremi no Jutsu. Technically a larger net of subset jutsus that made the ninja become part of the surrounding environment through different means. In this case, Murasaki was capitalizing on the Kakuremi no Jutsu with the subset Kanon no Jutsu, the technique of a ninja specifically covering their face and other exposed parts of their body in order to hide their pale skin. A technique that has actually evolved into shinobi using large sheets of patterned cloth to camo into the landscape, only
Hattori Hanzo over here is using the US flag print of his apparent double-sided Kano Jutsu cloth? Why even have that? I mean, alright, it's a bokeh gag for the kids to laugh at, I know, but look at the side that he meant to use. In the dark, maybe this would pass, but the color hue's all wrong. Easily sticking out to even a passing glance in the daylight. I mean, even Murasaki's boss, General White, is getting exasperated at how goofy this is becoming. Like I said, I know this is played up for laughs, but mind you, this altercation is happening right after Goku gets out of a life or death situation with Colossal Robotic Sergeant Metallic. So, after Goku finds Murasaki out, he makes Goku count to 30 so he can go hide? Did this life or death fight really just turn into hide and seek? I'll give the guy credit though. Murasaki's next hiding spot was under a hollow rock, which you could easily equate to the Uzurakakure no Jutsu, or quail hiding technique, where the shinobi would ball up their body tight, hide in exposed skin, and use breathing and mental exercises to keep their body still, even if being struck. But that's not what happened. Instead, he yells at Goku to stop peeking, and then soon after explains to Goku what the secret to his technique was. Alright!
Moving on, Murasaki sets up another jutsu, and after another 30 seconds, Goku goes looking for him, starting off in Murasaki's house. A deceptively plain-looking house, too. It's here I was really expecting something crazy to happen, because based on everything that I've read and experienced through various textbooks in the Iga Ninja Museum, there should be at least 5 different hidden passages of escape. Heck, I thought it was really interesting that Goku checked behind the ninja wall scroll, because typically you're gonna find the Nuke Ana behind those in a shinobi's place of residence. But surprisingly, Goku didn't really come across anything like this in this supposed ninja house.
Yeah, in fact, you want to know what he does end up finding? Murasaki's library-sized Erohon stash. Seishin Murasaki, come on! It's bad enough you got a pretty and pink bimbo Barbie Shinobi photo over there, but oof, this is a little crazy.
Alright, to be fair, despite what material was kept in secret, this is actually what Shinobi would do with their secretive and important materials. One of the great many things I learned at the Iga Museum's Ninja House was just how many secret stash compartments were built into the floor. With this house in particular, after opening a door, the wood rail that the door slides on could be taken off, and a large square of the floor was lifted up to expose a massive storage space, filled with things like money, information scrolls, and even a katana hidden in a panel of the floorboard. Despite what Murasaki may deem as treasured goods, the way he hides it is no less ninja than the shinobi of old.
Yeah, but his execution of his next jutsu is far less than the shinobi of old. Goku ends up turning around and hearing what sounds like heavy pipe vibrations coming from a single out-of-place bamboo rod sticking out of the house pond. And I think we all know where this is going, but go ahead.
Oh, come on, he calls it by name, the Suito no Jutsu. Though like the Kakuremi no Jutsu, Suito no Jutsu are actually a subset of water-based techniques in order to infiltrate into or escape out of a location. In this case, hiding oneself in water using a camouflage snorkel while waiting for pursuers to give up the chase. In fact, the list of Suito no Jutsus are themselves part of a much larger category of jutsus called Chiton Shippo, or 10 Techniques of Earth, which are themselves 1/3 of another category known as Goton Sanshippo, or 30 escapes of 5 elements that—
Yeah, compound fractions of jutsus for days, but the problem isn't the knowledge of the jutsu, it's the execution. I mean, again, come on, man! You're gonna freak out over a freaking frog and give away your position? That's pathetic compared to the stresses that Shinobi of old went through. Which is why they had so many exercises to control them, the least of which being the now stereotyped Kuji-in. You should know this! So yeah, like anyone with half a brain and a working eyeball, Goku spots Murasaki and eventually pours boiling water down into the poser ninja's blowhole. Yada yada yada, whining and complaining later, Murasaki said that he's done hiding and is, quote, going to take aggressive action by running away making running noises.
Alright, time out a second, cause this is actually a really important trait of old school ninja. Predominantly being messengers of information, shinobi were constantly on the move, traveling from location to location, and oftentimes on foot to reduce suspicion. Thus, being able to run great distances and speeds without tiring was a key attribute shinobi were believed to have studied. A lot of my reference materials from Japan have stated that shinobi would run 50D or 200 kilometers a day, utilize breathing exercises that allowed for greater gain and distribution of oxygen in their systems, and even used arm-to-leg body positioning opposite to how people typically ran, or just didn't move their arms at all while running, combined with a forward lean, thus changing their center of gravity in order to retain stamina and prevent energy waste, all of which are confirmed not only in multiple texts, but Jinichi Kawakami himself.
体をこう振ったりね、体ひねらない。ずっと振ってると疲れてしまう、余分なところまで。下こう前傾になってるということは重心の移動なんですよね。重心が前に行ってそのまま進んでいるということだと思いますね。これはもうそのズバリですよね。疲労しにくく。
Now check out how Murasaki is running. He's got a very obvious forward lean and his arms are stationary. Not exactly 100% one-to-one, but very similar to the energy-saving process of ninja running.
Right, but so's Goku. With his arms unmoving and body tilted forward, he not only maintains speed with Murasaki, he catches up to him. To which Murasaki responds with a handful of Makibishi. Whatever, Goku grabs Murasaki's wooden geta and the race continues. Only this time, Murasaki isn't looking so hot. Out of desperation, he loses form, running upright, alternately swinging his arms and legs, burning up all his reserve energy, while Goku, on the other hand, maintains his previous composure of arms out and still and leaning forward. Oh, and look at that! Guess who gets out-ninja'd? Again! Even General White is at his freaking limit with Murasaki and berates him for wasting time. Finally, Murasaki just drops all pretense and just forward charges Goku with his blade. And yeah, that goes about as well as you'd expect from a comically overhyped ninja versus an incarnation of the ultimate Chinese god warrior, to a point where in a desperate leaping attack at Goku... Okay, let's wrap this up. Murasaki requests unarmed combat, which Goku accepts, only to get boomeranged in the back of the head. A cheap victory for Murasaki. Hooray! I guess now you're gonna say that this is what makes him a solid historical ninja, yes?
So you might think that, but actually no. This is but one episode featuring the duel between Goku and Sergeant Major Murasaki. My aces in the hole are actually in episode 38. But much like audiences after seeing Goku get clocked in the back of the head, we'll just have to wait and see next time what exactly I have up my sleeve. And trust me, it may just make it turn completely around with Murasaki. But until then, thanks for watching everyone, and a big thanks to Skillshare. If you want to learn a new skill, develop a new trade, or just discover something different, hit that link in the description because the first 1,000 viewers will get a slice of Skillshare's premium service free. And I certainly can't forget the hundreds of patrons who made this and so many other episodes of Witch Ninja possible. I'm super glad we were able to finally cover Murasaki, and we sure ain't done yet.
Also, be sure to check out our upcoming streams. I'm finally making my live debut, just as long as my upgrade doesn't get too Uncanny Valley-ish.
And you can catch that every Tuesday, Saturday, and Sunday at 7 p.m. US Central Time. And don't miss out on our brand new channel, Gaijin Perspective, where I personally drop my experiences and advice about living abroad, and my spicier takes on anime. But until next time, everyone, this is Gaijin Goombah, signing out.